Next, the team is hitting the sauce for science.
Well, thanks to this, I can't actively participate in the next myth, which I'm pretty thrilled about because what we have in store for you two is painful, nauseating, and downright nasty.
This is like a running theme for you, isn't it?
All right, what is it this time?
This myth is actually about the morning after. Stick to beer, you're in the clear. Beer and liquor, never sicker.
So assuming you consume the same amount of alcohol, a night on beer alone will leave you feeling better the next day than if you mix your drinks.
Exactly.
So we're not just getting drunk for science, we have to get hangovers?
You'll be suffering for science, Tory. Because according to this saying, by sticking to beer and not mixing drinks, you can minimize the hurt the morning after. But testing that ain't gonna be fun.
All right, so how are we gonna test this one?
Well, it sounds pretty simple. First, we get drunk on beer only and find a way to quantify our hangover. Then we get drunk again on beer and liquor and compare.
Well, you know what? It's very important that we consume the same amount of alcohol for each test. That way, this is an accurate comparison.
And to keep things scientific, the drinks need to be the only variable. So first off, you need to eat the same thing for each day of testing. Secondly, you need to do the testing at the same time each day. And third, I think it's important that you take a few days off to recover fully before we test you again.
Yes!
And one more thing. To make sure that there's no cheating, you two are gonna be sleeping here in the shop.
What?
It's the only way I can assure that you're gonna show up for a 6 a.m. hangover test.
Why do we need to get up at 6 a.m.?
Well, it's all about maximizing hangovers and controlling variables. For a scientific comparison of both hangovers, Grant and Tory will eat and sleep in an identical way for each test. But most importantly, for both sessions, they'll consume exactly the same volume of alcohol. And to ensure their stay is comfortable, Kari and her MythBusters minions get to work on Hangover HQ.
Touch of class. Now that the rooms are all built and completely decorated, it's time to create my my testing area. We're going to run a gamut of tests to find out which is a worse hangover, beer or beer with spirits.
And after consulting with a hangover specialist, Kari has built the Throne of Moan. This will test for the 6 crucial symptoms of a hangover. The first 2 being sensitivity to light and sound.
Basically, these lights are gonna start low and get brighter and brighter till they say stop.
Okay.
Right there.
Yeah, that's good.
Now, on to sound, volume and duration. We'll start at a low volume and we'll get louder and louder until they just can't take it anymore.
Stop!
Thirdly, to test just how well their hungover brains are functioning,
The boys will be looking at a series of 10 pictures, which they need to remember all of and in order. Each test, the pictures will be the same, but the order will change. You're doing good.
When you talk, it breaks my concentration.
next up,
Then they move on to the headache assessment. They're going to decide between 1 and 10 how bad their headache is, because everybody knows a really bad headache goes along with a really bad hangover.
I'm gonna have to give it a 9.
Ooh.
fifth, to test the level of dehydration, it's the pinch.
You pinch your skin for 3 seconds. If you're a healthy, hydrated person, it snaps right back into place. But if you're dehydrated, your skin will stick there and slowly go back to normal. Whoa.
Creepy.
We're going to film that on high speed so that we can get exactly how long it takes for them to go back to normal.
And for the final symptom, nausea, Kari has just the thing.
This chair is based on a NASA motion sickness chair that they use for the astronauts. Now this is how we're gonna use it. We're gonna turn up to maximum spin, and they're gonna move their heads forward, back, side, side, until either they cry for mercy or they vomit.
But for the time being, that's under wraps,
No peeking.
as it's time to reveal their new digs to Tory and Grant.
Open your eyes. Casa del MythBusters.
Where Kari has one more surprise.
These are for your video diaries.
Oh boy, so we're gonna get drunk and then videotape ourselves?
Absolutely.
That could be damaging. All right, so for tonight, what are we doing?
Okay, well tonight is the control test. So you're staying completely sober, just keep yourselves occupied, and in the morning we'll come back and do all the baseline tests.
With that, Kari heads home and the guys settle in for some entertainment.
Yes! MythBusters! I like when they fight and throw stuff while they're making motorcycles.
After turning in at midnight, it's only 6 hours before Kari arrives with just what this myth needs.
Time for science!
More cowbell.
Why must you torture us like this?
Science doesn't sleep.
Kari wastes no time getting their tired but hangover-free baseline controls. First up, it's the bright lights till they can stand it no longer.
Ah, there it is. Okay, let's stop there.
Okay, let me check the light.
Then Kari turns up the volume for audio. Both the boys breeze through the memory test and the headache assessment.
1.
A quick pinch and their dehydration control is set.
Because you're hydrated and you haven't been drinking, your skin snaps back to normal very quickly.
And finally, to test their nausea, it's Grant's nemesis, the seasickness chair.
Oh, no. No.
The last time Grant took a spin, it brought up a few disturbing results. So Kari's taking precautions.
Feeling pretty, not so good. Let's stop it here.
Grant manages a baseline of 30 minutes.
Okay,
Why'd you stop it?
because you hit the maximum, it's been an entire hour.
Oh.
Unsurprisingly, they both did well on their control tests. They weren't bothered by the noise or bright light, they weren't dehydrated, and their brains were functioning better than expected.
So Kari just ran us through a whole bunch of tests, and they were very annoying. And this is doing it without a hangover. I can't imagine how bad it's gonna be when we're hungover.
Yep, this is gonna get ugly once the drinking starts. Beer, supposedly the nectar of the gods. It's the world's oldest and most widely consumed alcoholic beverage. But does a night on the amber liquid leave you in a better state the morning after than mixing your drinks? With their hangover-free baseline done and dusted, it's time to wet the whistle.
All right, time for science.
Finally, we could start drinking. All right, so what's the deal?
I'm gonna keep track of how many beers you guys drink. Drink as many as you think it's gonna take for you guys to get hangovers, and we'll have the same amount of alcohol when we do the beer mixing with the spirits.
With Kari keeping track, the boys don't waste any time beering up.
Check this out.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer MythBusters.
Because the goal of this experiment
Can I get another round of science from me and my buddy here?
is drinking enough to get hungover.
Hey, darling, can I get another one?
Something they're not happy about.
Beer.
We're not even that far in.
I know, but science ain't pretty.
Remember, Tory and Grant don't need to drink the same amount as each other. The crucial thing is that they drink the same volume of alcohol for this test and the mixed drinks test.
Touch your nose with your left hand. Very good. All right, now with your right.
After a solid session of 11 beers for Tory and 5 for Grant, it's clear that tomorrow morning is going to be bad.
Okay, so they've had enough beers to get them sufficiently hungover for tomorrow.
Not even
yet.
close.
Almost.
So I'm gonna leave the EMT in charge. I'm gonna go home and get a good night's sleep. Oh my God! Make sure they don't hurt themselves, Kevin. Bye.
With Kari gone and our EMT Kevin in charge, Tory has a sudden thirst for redecorating.
You know, I was thinking what this room needs is maybe another door or a fire escape, perhaps.
And that's got Grant worried.
He just comes through and he's like, he's angry.
I'm not angry.
He's like the Hulk. He wants to smash everything. I don't know what to do.
At midnight, with the final beer tally at 14 for Tory and 6 for Grant, they turn in.
Hopefully, in the best case scenario, I have a hangover and I'm ready to test tomorrow morning, which is gonna suck. Good night.
And just like the control, after 6 hours of peaceful slumber, Kari returns.
It is really early in the morning, and I bet the boys have a pretty kickin' hangover by now. I'm about the last person they want to see. Rise and shine! It's morning time! Good morning, MythBusters!
There's no denying that the boys are hungover.
Ugh, everything hurts right now, though.
My head is physically throbbing. It feels like it's like...
But it's over to Kari to assess just how bad they're feeling. First to face the tests is Tory. He's blinded by the light.
Okay.
Right there?
Yeah.
Can't take the audio barrage
That's a good level. That's a good level.
and is clearly dehydrated.
Definitely slower than yesterday.
Although he does surprisingly well on concentration,
Time's up.
after 2 minutes, he demands the chair stop.
I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
Grant's similar when it comes to light, sound, and dehydration, but flunks the concentration test. And as for the chair, viewers of a nervous disposition look away now.
Just think, when you vomit, the test is over.
Pretty much, I think I was just holding back what was inevitable throughout all the tests. So, you know, I think as soon as I got up, I was feeling pretty queasy. Just sitting in the chair, it's just so many bad memories of it. I couldn't hold it back any longer.
The morning after beer, both the guys' tolerance to light and sound has more than halved. They're at least 4 times more dehydrated, and their nausea is through the roof. Compared to the control, Grant and Tory are badly hungover.
It's fun getting here, but man, now that I'm here, I'm not so happy. Turn that light off now.
Busting myths can be a painful business. Tory and Grant are all too used to putting their bodies on the line to get to the truth. But for this myth, they're getting sloshed for science.
This is good behavior.
And after a couple of days drying out, the boys are back at the bar, ready to buck their spirits up.
Okay, what's the plan?
We're about to mix our spirits with our beer. Now, this is how it breaks down. Here are your charts. Grant, you consumed 3.6 ounces of alcohol cumulatively through your beers. Tory, you consumed 7.968. So for that, it means you, Grant, need to drink 2 beers and 4 shots. Tory, you get to drink 5 beers and 8 shots.
That sounds like I'm gonna die.
It's the exact same amount of alcohol.
And that's key. Despite their reluctance, for a scientific comparison, the guys will drink precisely the same volume of alcohol as test 1, but this time in the form of beer and spirits.
Start date 5/1909. This is the continuing experiment into beer versus liquor. Our tests have shown that the hangover-inducing machine is fully functional. Enterprise, I need a beer for me and my compadre.
And once the beers have been beamed into their system,
Come here, you beautiful beer.
the chasers are set to stun.
Pour the whiskey, Red.
Yeah, give me a shot of tequila.
Remember, the guys have eaten exactly the same thing as the previous test day, started drinking at the same time, and are proceeding at the same rate. The only difference here is the mix of alcohol.
At this same point, the other evening with beer, I was, surfing the couch. We were kicking holes in walls. We were doing all kinds of crazy stuff. But now, I'm feeling pretty good.
Walk the line, Imahara. It's a fine line. Walk it.
I don't even think we're close to hangover drunk yet.
But a few drinks later,
All right, so I've had 5 beers. So I've had 5 beers and 8 shots. I've had 5 beers and I've 8. Now, So I've had 5. Come on, you guys. Give me a little break.
I think what Tori's trying to say is that the alcohol is working.
Whoa! What it do?
My job as executor of the alcohol is finished. They have both ingested their allotted amount for the evening. Now I'm happy to say it's time for me to go home because they're starting to get a little crazy.
Indeed, excessive consumption of alcohol can impair judgment
Throw your head back if you can't throw the glass.
and lead to recklessness.
All right, look like it's time to go to bed. It's time for bed.
And it goes without saying, please don't try that at home.
I've completed the equivalent amount of alcohol to the beer-only test, which is 2 beers and 4 shots.
I'm a little hammered right now, I'm not gonna lie. Hopefully the hangover won't be worse. But that's it. Good night.
I'm going to sleep now. Okay, good night.
Sleep tight, because tomorrow it all starts again. First, Grant and Tori stuck to beer.
And I can't do this anymore.
Then last night it was beer and liquor. So if the myth is right, this morning they should be feeling a lot sicker.
Here we go again. This is the final day, the final wake-up call for the boys in the testing of the myth. Will beer and liquor make you sicker? I've got all of my testing equipment ready, and we're gonna go wake the boys up now. Good morning, MythBusters. It's time to start science.
And while Tori is certainly worse for wear,
I feel like somebody has hammered a 10-inch spike into my head.
Grant is a different story.
Grant, are you awake? Grant. It's gotta be worse than the siren.
I got news for you. I'm awake and I'm not hungover.
Hold on there, Mr. Imahara. Explain yourself.
For whatever reason, the same amount of alcohol divided between beer and hard liquor is much easier on my system than just straight beer. On the straight beer, I was kind of, doing all kinds of crazy things, but with the liquor, with the hard alcohol shots, I feel that I remained fairly lucid throughout the evening. And when I went to bed, I was like, I probably could do more, but I had to stop because we have to stop at the same amount of alcohol. Well, we'll see.
Indeed we will, because just like the last time, Kari is putting her guinea pigs through their hungover paces.
I think I'm never gonna drink again.
Ooh, that's a good sign of a hangover.
Wink.
Okay, grab the light meter and put it next to your face.
Copy.
Okay?
It's obvious Grant isn't suffering too badly. He's not bothered by the light or sound, he has no headache, and he performs much better on the memory test.
And time.
Tori's sensitivity to light and sound is better than on beer, but he's still just as dehydrated.
Ew.
Creepy.
And his headache rating,
I'm gonna have to give it a 9.
Ooh, good.
Yeah, it's hurting pretty good.
however, when it comes to the
I
regurgitron,
do find myself taking a lot of deep breaths, so it's kind of like a ride.
his tolerance to the barfometer is through the roof. And as for Grant,
Okay, full spin. But pretty much, you've already surpassed your last test.
yep, he not only exceeds his beer hangover score, amazingly, he matches the time set on his hangover-free control.
That's it, I'm calling it. You hit your control marker, and you haven't vomited.
Well, all right. Guess the beer before liquor didn't make me sicker.
That's amazing. I have not only heard that rhyme my whole life, I've totally thought it was true. I mean, we need to get all the numbers in to double check all the data, but I mean,
Yeah,
just seeing you and Tori,
the bucket is clean.
The bucket speaks.
Indeed. And although we don't usually take our cues from buckets, this one might be onto something.
Can you turn those lights up a little bit? Look, they seem a little dim. So I've just finished the last day of testing of which gives you the worst hangover. And you know what? I'm gonna have to say, beer and liquor, never sicker, it doesn't seem to be the case. I mean, right now I have a crazy splitting headache, way worse than I did when I drank the beer. But overall, I feel much better than when I drank just beer. But you know, we won't know for sure until we look at all the data. But right now, I don't know, this saying doesn't look like it's true.
And the data backs Tory up. On light, sound, concentration, headache, dehydration, and nausea, Grant improved significantly. And while Tory's headache was more severe and his dehydration on par, on every other test, he did better than on beer alone. So what does that all mean for the morning after myth?
Well, you know, to be honest, I felt a lot better after the test where you mixed beer and alcohol.
Yeah, but for both of you, in almost every single test, you improved from the beer hangover.
You know, these are really surprising results. This one's looking busted.
Yeah, stick to beer, you're in the clear. Beer and liquor, never sicker. Pfft, busted.
Busted. And you know what? That's it for me and beer.
Forever?
Okay, maybe just this week.
Attaboy.